And welcome to the Photo Eye Photography Masterclass. Our first shot is an image that was submitted by Costas. Now he has informed us that this is a 4-shot panoramic photograph, and the shots are actually comprised of 4 upright pictures, so we have the 1, 2, 3, 4 shots here. This photograph was taken very quickly in order to keep the people and all the elements in the right place. So how can we go about improving this or altering this photograph? Well, first of all, when we're taking photographs, it's equally important to leave out parts of the photograph that are not totally relevant. Like for instance, shrubland here, which is not really adding a lot to the picture other than perhaps setting the scene. So why don't we start off by doing a crop on the photograph? And I'm just going to do a very rough quick crop on here. And I'm going to take out the bottom area to start with. So let's take out this area here, and we've lost the shrubland. Just leave a little bit more of the greenery in here on there. That's okay. On the right hand side we've got this bit of bush that's entering the picture, which is not really adding anything at all to the shot, so we can lose that. Looking on the left hand side here, we've got some unwanted items in the picture, which again are not adding a lot to the picture, so let's crop those out, and we'll take that close up to the huts there. And we can also lose just a fraction of the sky, not too much, because it is rather an interesting looking sky. So let's render this crop. There's some items, unwanted items in the foreground here, like this shower, and there's some planks of wood here, and some other bits of junk. So we're going to clone these out. So now let's just magnify the image. So you're going to be seeing a little bit of pixelation on here. Costa's original photograph is a lot higher resolution. So we'll select the clone tool, and you may not see this clone circle here, but we can increase the brush size by just pressing the square brackets, or we can go up and down whatever size we want. So I'm going to first remove these planks of wood here, and we'll set our sample point by holding down the Alt key and just clicking, and now we can just clone out. Now make sure that you sample from several areas at a time so you don't repeat areas in the clone. There we go, like so. We've just repeated that, and I don't particularly want that. And again, this little bit of cardboard on the side here, and then we can take out the shower head. It's a fairly simple one, and the wooden base as well. Take that out, and don't forget to take out the shadow as well. And again, there's some other bits of unwanted rubbish there. Now Costas has asked me to take out this man here because he was not actually part of his group, and again I'm going to just sample an area here, hold down the Alt key, sample the area, and take out the shadow. There we go, and we can take him out. Sample again, put a bit more greenery in there, sample again over this side, and we're just building up the picture again. Okay, so that's looking okay now. I'm going to take out this red post here as well, so we're going to square brackets just to reduce the brush size downwards, sample, and let's just take it out. There we go, it's gone. Okay, I think that's looking okay so far. There's nothing on there, a little bit of rubbish on the ground there, and we can take that out as well. So that's the image more or less corrected. Now I know Costas has applied some vibrancy and some saturation to this, but I feel we can actually improve on the picture. So I'm going to use some adjustment layers, and I'm going to add 2 adjustment layers. Click on the adjustment layer, and the first one we're going to add is the curves, and then I'm going to add another adjustment layer, and that's going to be hue and saturation. So if we go to the curves one first, and I'm just going to reduce the overall brightness down a little bit. Okay, that's fine. The sky itself is looking a bit too blue. The clouds themselves have picked up a lot of the blue cast, so I'm going to reduce this now. And the way I'm going to do this is by adjusting the hue and saturation layer. So let's click on there, and now I want to add a guideline because I want to just adjust the clouds only, but I don't want to adjust the sea here because that's looking quite nice, actually, nice and blue. So let's click on the ruler guides and just drag down, and this just gives me a reference point. This is where my horizon is. I don't want to adjust anything below this. I only want to adjust something above. So we're going to use the mask layer. So click on the mask here and ensure that we've got black to white selected on the left hand side here, and with our gradient tool we're now going to select black to clear. If you click on this, you can actually see the first one will be black to white, next one will be foreground to transparent, which is black to transparent, and that's the one I want to select. So click OK on that. So with the hue, I just want to click on below the line there and drag upwards and just release the mouse. And now if I hold down the Alt key and click on the hue and saturation mask, we can see exactly what's happened. Here we have the horizon, below is going to be protected, above is clear. So now we can adjust hue and saturation. So click on there and we can adjust the hue. So if I just do it roughly, you can see exactly what's happening here. I'm only affecting the parts of the sky, but as you can see there, we've got some of the mountainous areas also affected. So click on the mask again, and now using the black brush we can just paint over the mask there, and we're now protecting the skyline there, and that's fine. You needn't be too precise about this because it is actually going to be quite hidden up. If you do go over and like so, you just press the X key on your keyboard, which swaps your colors, and now you can just paint back in again the bits you've accidentally gone over. Okay, so that's looking okay, but the sky is obviously not the right color. I'm going to adjust this now to, I've worked it out before, it's actually plus about 4. There we go, plus 3 would be fine. That's just, and I also want to reduce the saturation downwards, so I've reduced it down to -33. Now this gives a much more natural looking sky on the shot. Now I'm going to click on the mask again and holding down the Alt key. Now this is creating my mask. You can see there's a little bit of a gap on there, so I can actually retouch this, make sure we've got the black color selected, and we've just painted out there. Okay, so now I want to do a Control A to select all, and we do a Control C to copy, and now we'll click on the mask on the curves, and now we're going to do a paste, which is a Control V. Now I've duplicated the mask from the hue and saturation down to curves, but I don't actually want the mask in this form. I want to actually invert it, so we go to Image, Adjustments, and we'll select Invert. This is provided the opposite to the top one there, so now let's click on there. So now I can adjust the curves, and we can adjust the curves, and as you can see it's only the bottom part of the image that's now been affected, so I can now balance out the picture to match the sky, so we've got a natural looking shot. And I think that's looking okay now.